Melba Moore is an award-winning American prolific five-octave songstress. She's known for Broadway, contemporary soul, R&B, pop, jazz, gospel, and classical music. Melba was destined to be a star when she recorded the Grammy-nominated cover of the Aretha Franklin classic, Lean on Me, and gave us a Tony Award-winning performance as Ludabelle Gussie Jenkins in Pearly that solidified her career as an entertainer. She became the first African-American female to perform the role in Fantine in Les Miserables. Melba Moore has a brand new single out right now titled So in Love. Please help me welcome the gifted, the incomparable Melba Moore. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us right here on The Mike Lee Show. It is powered by the iconic Miss Jamie Foster Brown of Sister to Sister magazine. Hey, Jamie, and today it warms my whole heart to have the one and only Miss Melba Moore with me today, and on Valentine's Day. I wore red for the diva. Melba, how are you?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, first of all, it is my pleasure to have you, and I love your music and your spirit and you so much. I just wish I could bottle it up and let you know just how much your music, I can't be selfish. Your music has been around for ages. When I was growing up, because I'm old enough to be a part of the people who appreciated you when you were singing songs like Lean on Me, Pick Me Up, I'll Dance, This Is It, and you were in Ludabelle Gussie Jenkins, and we'll talk about all of that as we get into the interview. But you were a fashion diva back then. There were the hats with all the diamonds in it, all of the beautiful gowns, and sometimes it was almost in competition with Diana Ross. And now I know you may not know that, but yeah, yeah. And I say that because
don't say that she might hurt me.
I know she loves you. But there was the song Lean on Me. And we would all go out after, I used to go to Alabama School of Fine Arts. We would go out to college and we would go to all these different clubs. And people were singing this song every weekend, 2 or 3 times a week. Somebody was singing Lean on Me. And by the time you get to the end, the disco floor was filled up with dollar bills all over the place. We've always known you. We've always known your music. So I want to say to you, thank you for joining us today, because you are Black history. You are what Black history is all about, you and your music. So I want to thank you for being here with us today. How have you been, lady? How have you been? How have you been?
I'm grateful to say very, very, very well. Very well. And things are going so well, Mike, that I have a suspicion that I'm becoming a late bloomer.
Well, you know, that's funny you say that, because I've known your music and knew when you've worked with Kashif's and had the company and Freddie Jackson and all of these wonderful things going on in your life. And then there was a break, and then we didn't see you for a while. But honey, that internet came in, and I don't know who told you about that internet, but you
told me about it. Yeah, they did tell me about it. Because you know who told me about it? My partner, who helps me run my business now, Ron Richardson. But he, introduced me into D Nice.
Yes.
And during the first lockdown, he really became the new main street on how you communicate. You started with music on the internet. Yeah. And fortunately, he kept reminding people that Melba Moore was still here by playing You Stepped Into My Life.
And I'm so happy. Yes.
I played Sister Sledge and some other people that just kind of gave us new life.
Yeah.
And then as I continued to have new music, he's supported it. So I have to say, not only thank you to the internet, but almost single-handedly to begin with, D Nice, because he has such a huge following, and he got such a even bigger following, because when everything was shut down, he was out there with the people voting. D Nice he's the biggest thing since sliced bread, but he's brought a lot of people along with him. And so because of him, people like myself and many others we have a whole new shot in our lives and careers. If you had a big city like New York,
Hmm.
how many thousands of people could you get per day? That's just one
Hmm.
city. But
Yeah.
now one person has a following of 100,000
Yeah.
immediately, and it's global.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how much God has multiplied what's possible for you if He favors you.
If he favors you. These last 2 years have definitely been, with COVID and everything. It's been challenging, but one thing for sure, and we just talked about D Nice, it hasn't stopped you one bit. One bit. You've been able to still keep your face out there, keep your name out there. Uh, give other people credit where it's due, whether it was comedians. Just the other night, I saw where you posted something. You may have gone to the Gladys Knight concert. You posted something, and Gladys looks good.
Darling,
Glad,
Gladys, Miss Gladys, if you please,
if you're pleased.
is bad.
Yes, yes, yes.
Not good. She's ridiculous.
Yes, yes. You all are. You are. I mean, you are too. And I thought, look at you. You were so kind to other artists and to other young artists.
In fact, now so much has
Mhm.
been and still is continued to be given to me. So y'all
Yes,
make me feel good.
that's no. That's wonderful. I was going to ask you, when you're doing that, what makes you want to give back to the community and touch on people and love them like that? What does it do for you to do that?
I just have so much to be thankful for different people assisting me and
Hmm.
giving to me when I couldn't do for myself. During
Hmm.
times people didn't see me in front of you. Some of those times were very, 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 very desperate,
Hmm.
despairing. Um, I can't say challenging. I
Hmm.
didn't know what I was going to do from moment to moment. I mean, I
Hmm.
had times, long periods of times when I not only did not have a roof over my head,
Hmm.
if you don't have a bank account, you don't
Hmm.
have an address, you basically don't have an identity.
Yeah.
I know that in detail now because as I was rescued by people like Michael Matthews, who called me to be out on my first gospel show. He started that genre before Tyler Perry did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was on the road with him and my fellow brothers and sisters in that uh, theater piece, touring theater piece, showed me how to do my business at the post office because I didn't have a bank account. Showed me
Hmm.
how to do my business with money orders. Showed me how to put my money in my clothes.
Safe, the real safe.
A safe baby. I'll just wrap it up with saying
No,
I've
no,
been in this
go ahead.
situation for long periods of time. I'm talking about what might even be superficial about it because during those times, there was a period when I had lost my daughter. I didn't know where she was. I only have one child.
Mm-hmm.
So I was devastated.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're so beaten, you can't
Mm.
even talk to people and tell them what your problem is.
What's your problem? Yeah.
But I was in a play with people, all the people were saved.
Mm.
I was too, but I didn't know it. I had been through so much trauma. I
And
didn't
look
know.
at what God put you. Look at
And
what
that's
God.
why I'm saying, you saying, why do I feel that? It's more than a feeling. It is the essence of who I am. If I wasn't before, I've become a
Mm-hmm.
person who feels what it is to be in somebody's shoes, who's not a star, who's not
Mm-hmm.
having it well, and know that not only are we equal, we're family.
We're all family.
I don't know if you know scripture, but this is a season where it's real, where those of us who've been going along and believing
Mm-hmm.
come into a cycle where he's truly made us new creatures. And I can tell you that, but you can hear it. This song was brought to me by my daughter.
Mm.
Now, I think that's interesting because
Yeah.
she brought it to me along with her uncle, who's a brother of my now ex-husband, who's the cause of most of my trauma.
Okay, God.
Excuse me, yes,
Okay. We need to talk.
because only God could repair this.
Hey, yeah, yeah.
But that's what he's doing. And of course, for our children, thank
Wow.
goodness. I think if I didn't have a child, I don't know if I could see that far.
Mm.
But you see them, and the first thing that comes to you was, how is this going to affect her?
Yeah.
Then everybody else around him, then you see, and her uncle Bo. I've been partnering with him, even though I wasn't with his brother,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for say the last 8 or 10 years working on music. Because
Mm-hmm.
first of all, he was very sick, and I wanted to give him something to wake up every day for.
Oh wow.
And we are family, and he didn't do nothing to me.
Right, 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 right. That's
So
beautiful.
as a result, through these years, he's had, first of all, this is extraordinary. He's been on dialysis. I mean, he's been
Mm-hmm.
that sick, but
Yeah.
he has a new kidney. That's very hard to
That's a
get.
blessing.
A
That's great.
miracle.
Yeah. So, needless to say, you and your daughter's relationship is better,
No,
wonderful.
it was never bad,
Yeah. Okay.
but well, first of all, never lost heart. I got her back.
Yeah.
So when she brought me the song, I said, "Wow, Charlie, this is beautiful. Where'd you get this?" She said, "Oh, Uncle Bo."
You say what?
No, no, because I've been working with him, even though I haven't been working with my ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Okay, wow. Well, so why are you playing it for me?"
Mm-hmm.
He and I think you should record it.
Mm.
I said, "But that don't sound like me."
Mm.
She said, "Yeah, that's why I want you to record it. You need to do something new."
Something new, something refreshing, and it was new. It was so new and so different, and so it doesn't change who you are, and it doesn't make us not like what we heard, but it brings you in closer. Like that's Melba. Melba, what you doing over there? And it does. And as you get into the song, there are some moments where you belt out and you can get that grit and that thing that you've got. But it is so wonderfully. The vocals are beautiful, beautiful.
And let me give thanks to not only Charlie and Bo, but Ronnie Harris, or Ronnie Song, who co-wrote it and produced it, along with Chantel Hamilton, who wrote the song. So they wrote these things,
Mm-hmm.
me in mind. So that's the other reason why you need other people's perspective.
Yeah.
To just me and what I would choose, I would only see from inside me, which first of all is never complete. But
I
I
love
just
it.
want to know one thing:
Yes.
is it all the way dead?
No. Let's talk about the incomparable little girl. Lutabelle, yes, Lutabelle Gussie Mae Jenkins,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I remember the first time I saw that play and saw you, and I actually saw it on television.
Oh,
And
yes.
and I was watching the TV. I think my mom or dad had turned something on, and they knew I had a little something in me. I would watch Soul Train and dance and do all this stuff. So they brought me to the television, and they want me to watch it. And I was mesmerized by that little girl who was so sassy and belted out Ludabelle Gussie Mae Jenkins. How did you get that part? How did that happen? Because to me, it changed. Was it a changing course in your life? For
Absolutely.
me, okay, yeah,
No,
go.
go finish what you're saying, please.
I wanted to know when you got that part, was it something that opened doors, changed your life? Because the moment I saw that little girl on TV is the same. I remember when I first saw Donna Ross and the Supremes. I remember the first time I saw Oprah Winfrey
Me
on
too.
TV. And I remember the first time I saw Ludabelle Gussie Mae Jenkins. So those are pivotal moments that black women, beautiful black women, in the peak of their moment, opening doors up for all other black women and knocking down doors. You did that. You did that. And I don't know if you knew that little girl in that body who portrayed that character had the impact. And I wanted to let you know you did.
I do now because I can look in retrospect. Now I know what a Tony Award is.
Mm.
I didn't then.
Mm-hmm.
And only reason I was in that play is because, well, first of all, my first occupation was as a public school music teacher in Newark, New
Mm-hmm.
Jersey.
Wow.
And my parents, who were performers, wanted me to have a real job. So I did that. But I said, Daddy, I did it. And this is what you want me to do. But I don't want to do this. I hate this.
Mm-hmm.
Would you please take me around to some of the people that you know and see, can you get me into the industry as a performer?
Mm.
And to cut out some of the details, he did that. And one of the first people I met was Valerie Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
And she was at the beginning of her life and career because she's younger than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And she was already a songwriter, and she's a gifted entrepreneur. They just can't help her. I'm talking about her and Nick, but this is
Yeah.
before we
Yeah.
married and all that kind of thing.
The whisper of your name melts every tear away. I look into your eyes, refreshes like the morning rain. With you I'm home, with you I'm safe. With you there's no other place I'd rather be. Ah, no, no. I never thought that love would feel this way. I won't ever get away. I'm gonna shout it from the mountain.
And I'm saying this because I can't take the credit, and I think it's an interesting story if I keep it
Okay.
short.
Okay. No, I love it.
So we exchanged numbers, and she invited me to get into the industry via studio backup singing work. That's what she was doing to make money. She did
Okay.
jingles, so they paid a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
And we did everybody's sessions. We sung behind all the biggest recording artists during the like the late 60s.
Okay.
One of the recording sessions was for the Broadway musical Hair,
Okay.
and they were still casting, and they wanted some strong Black singers for this parody on the Supremes that they had in the Broadway musical Hair. That's what they were
Okay.
still casting for.
Uh-huh.
And they invited all of us to come down and sing for the producer, because basically they liked us. And if we wanted to, we just go down and sing for the producer. And they were kind of basically guaranteeing us that we're going to be in the show, because
Mhm.
we had been doing the music from the show Hair, but it was being performed by the gentleman who was a keyboardist, the music director, and he had written the music for Hair. But
Mhm.
Jim and Jerry, who were helping him, were the two stars, and they had written the book, and they'd written all the lyrics, all the words for all the music.
Mhm.
So basically, without realizing, we were doing an audition for my
Wow.
first Broadway show.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I wanted to
Definitely.
tell you that because it just didn't happen in a normal way.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
had no background or knowledge of theater.
Wow.
So I went down and not audition, but sang for them, was invited to be in the show.
Mm-hmm.
When I do the book, I'll tell them more details. But to
Mm-hmm.
make a long story a little bit shorter, the female lead of the show left, and they kept having these replacements that they weren't happy with. But they kept, they weren't happy with them. So one of the Black girls in the show said, "How do she have to be white?" Because the Broadway show broke all the rules. Like a Black woman played Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And she sang, "Happy babe, happy birthday, baby, happy
Uh-huh.
birthday to you." You know, first Broadway show to have a nude scene.
Wow.
I'm talking about 68, 69.
But this is
So
really pushing the buttons, pushing the envelope on all.
really pushing the
Yeah.
button.
Yeah.
They had a song in there sung by, his name was Lamont Washington. So I'm a jigaboo nigga. That
Mm.
was the song. And
Mm-hmm.
the audience was all white.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's an exposure of
Huh?
the so-called things that we do in different groups of society.
Mm-hmm.
They were just knocking down all the barriers.
Mm-hmm.
And they were basically, and they were anti-Vietnam,
Wow.
they were anti-war. It was the first time a Black person could wear a natural.
Wow. Incredible.
And that, but the last detail I can tell is that by the time I left the show, I had the female lead, which had originally been done by Diane Keaton. So I became the first Black woman to replace a white woman in a lead role on Broadway. And my first Broadway show which was a hippie show,
Wow.
white show, and I didn't know what a Tony Award was,
Mm, mm, mm. And now,
etc.
and now you know for sure.
I know now.
Now, know for sure now. What do you, okay, the new Melba. What do you love most about yourself today? Today.
So that I know
Mm-hmm.
it's really not about me.
Mm,
So I can ask God for whatever I want, and it's going to be profuse
mm-hmm.
because I have to figure out ways to make him shine as I give it away.
Wow.
I think that's pretty big.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Wow. Um, I'm gonna call out some wonderful songs, and I want you to tell me what you think about some of these songs. Lean on Me. Have you ever just, when you think about the lyrics to that song, just let me walk this road of life with you, and then they
Step by
hook
step.
step by step. Yes, don't even go there.
Oh, where it's leading to.
Yes,
Reach out and take my
reach out and
hand.
take my hand.
Should find some hills too high to climb.
Yeah. Have you ever realized how beautiful that song is and how big it is? And
Yes, can I tell you why?
yeah, come on. Yes.
Because I first heard it sung by Aretha Franklin.
Oh God, really?
Take a moment. I
Okay.
like to say it's one of the crumbs on the table that she threw away that I picked up. It was on the B side of what's probably before your time, 45 records.
My parents had 45 records.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Man.
The A side was
And hey, Melba, they had the arm that would come down and pick it up and flip it over and put it down for you in the hi-fi stereo.
the A side was a Rose in Spanish Harlem.
Reminds me of my mother. She would play it all the time. Yeah.
And so that's why I first heard the song.
Mm,
And that song and anything Aretha Franklin would sing, I would just be immersed in like millions of other people.
yeah.
I could say I was a fan, but I feel like I remember her first records from Columbia
Yeah.
when she was not really allowed to be herself yet.
Yeah.
You still got drowned in her spirit.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And so I said, I know I can't sing it like her, but I gotta experience, I gotta sing this song. Well, not in the beginning, I just wanted to sing the song.
Yeah.
Just in the house, anywhere. I had to experience the song, hearing her sing it. And then eventually it grew and developed into how I could express it. So who produced me on my first recordings at Epic was Van McCoy. But it ushered in the dance or disco era. He gave me my first, I guess, first hit song, and This Is It, that he wrote and produced for me. I said, Van McCoy, there's another song that you wrote that you have to do for me. He says, all right, Melba, what is it? I said, it's Lean on Me.
What did he say?
I said, you have to do my arrangement.
Right. I can't do it like that. I'm going to do it like this.
Yeah. He said, fine, but I'm not using no saxophones on it. I said, I don't care what you use on it. Just it has to be stretched. I mean, organized like this so I can build it and do it in my range and like I can do it, because I knew how I could express the words so they would mean something important. And I didn't think I could do it as strong, the way Miss Aretha expresses it. But when I got through with it, I could see that, okay, the meaning is there. And it really was for my mother. And during the time that I was married to my then husband, I didn't know it, but she was passing away. So it was me trying to take care of her and I had had my own challenge. I had lost everything prior to that.
Hmm.
And, you know, I've had a few downfalls and comebacks. that that one was like one of the first comebacks that I'd had. And I guess nobody knew about it because what happened was instead of coming back with theater, I came back with hit records. So it looked like I just did something else.
Yeah. So when is the book coming out?
Oh, we haven't started it yet, but I do have some offers.
Okay. I can't wait. We can't wait for the book because I would love to. Just because I'm a child of the disco era and all the great true R&B divas. When you
Oh
could
gosh.
really, when you could appreciate all the artists in one, you could love you could love Allison Williams, Shaka Khan, Vesta Williams, and
You're so
that
rich.
everything was so big. And you didn't have to say, oh, Vesta sounds like Shaka or Shaka sounds like Vesta. You loved them both. Whitney Houston.
Speaking of Vesta and Shaka, how about Melissa Morgan, another great singer from that? Or do you know who Audrey Wheeler is?
Yes, Audrey's married to Will Downing. Yeah, yeah. One of my other, I love. I would sit up in California in my apartment because I'd moved to California in the late '80s, early '90s. It was after my mom passed. My mom passed in 1989, and I was living in Atlanta, Georgia. And during that particular time, I was very much into Luther. I was into Luther. I was into Freddie Jackson. Ooh, boy, did I love me some Freddie Jackson around that time. But I also came across this guy, Will Downing, who had this just chocolate melt in your mouth, rich vocal. And so, yes, I know who his wife is, who's an incredible singer.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Why did you bring her up?
I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? We were talking about singers and great singers, and I'll say this, and I'll trim all this down. Audrey, I feel like Audrey never got the, and I don't want to say, I believe that God is always in control. He knows where He wants us to go. I would have liked to have seen Audrey out front more, seen her.
You know
On,
what?
yeah.
I think you may still see that.
Okay. Okay.
It's a new day.
It's a
And
new
she's
day.
just as strong as she ever was.
That's wonderful.
And I think she's always decided to support Will. She's decided to do that because she's a very, very strong, very intelligent young woman.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe because she's been in back of people, many people don't know who she is, but you may just see that.
Okay. People have left us. I wonder what Kashif would be doing right now with music.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Kashif. If you're talking about somebody that we don't celebrate, that we don't know enough about, because he's not here to do a promotional campaign. And now that we're in this COVID,
Yes.
hopefully we can appreciate just the gift of life a little bit more, because sometimes when we have things so good, we don't even know that it's good.
Yeah.
And that for instance, I think when I have an opportunity to get back out on the road and to take my next promotion, and when I'm the executive producer of the next era of my life, I'm going to focus on the life of Kashif, because he's part of why I have hit records with that new synthesizer sound that was new.
Yes.
When he brought that in there, I mean, first of all, the sound was so big, and so I said, "Oh God, I got to leave the room," and I was outside. I said, "Oh," and he helped create that, just like Stevie Wonder did with his ear when he came in, and Ray Charles did with the Fender Rhodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that sound when no, you don't remember that when it first came in.
Now that's my grandmother, Nina Simone, Ray Charles.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they ushered each one of them. You can see that they help identify the periods that they lived in. They were so iconic. But Kashif didn't have enough public awareness and support, because the reason why we see these people are because of the incredible gifts of folks like Clive Davis, whose genius is in promoting these people.
Yeah.
They have huge machines behind them, so that we see them in the fullness of their bigger than life abilities. It's not anything fake.
Yeah.
But if you only have the talent, it's like a coin. You only got, I don't know how you can have one side of a coin,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like one side of the coin. It ain't got nothing printed on it if you don't have the business aspect of it.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
So my hope is that one of the things that I know you have to have, if you're going to be a successful artist, you have to have the business part of it. And as I have that put back into my life, I hope to be able to, not necessarily just be on tour all the time. I'm going to get tired of that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Great art, first of all, if that's your end all. But if I can get to the point where I can then produce some projects that shine a light on people like Kashif. What about Paul Lawrence?
Mm-hmm.
I know what'll shake you. Paul Lawrence wrote Rock Me Tonight, baby. Paul Lawrence needs a Clive Davis.
Yeah.
I mean, in my humble opinion.
No, but I know what you mean because we hear Freddie, but where did the song originally come from? And that's from all songwriters and backup people.
But it
And
doesn't take
whoever.
anything from Freddie in the artistry.
Of course. Of
But if
course.
nobody had promoted him, you would know he was so great.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Let's talk about your brand new single. Well, we talked about your brand new single already. Okay. Well, we know we're done with that one because that's the new single out that your daughter brought to you with your brother-in-law, or old brother-in-law. Um, is there anything in your life that you if you could change anything right now, what would it be? Or are you sitting on where you feel God has placed you?
I'm definitely sitting on what God has placed me. The only regrets I would have had, I wish I'd have been able to hear what he was saying in some ways
Mm-hmm.
earlier. But I would regret, but instead of regret, I'll repent
Yeah.
because I was a nasty girl and I'm not no more.
I don't know. I don't. Well, you know what? You couldn't have been. You couldn't have been nasty.
Well,
I don't. I don't. You don't even seem like a nasty person. I don't
no,
get
I'm
it.
not. I
No.
was making a joke, but I mean,
Okay, because I'm going. So I'm going. I don't. Just something inside of me goes. No, that's not my Melba.
no, that's not what I mean. I
Okay.
really mean
Okay.
that, of course, there's some things I regret, truly, 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 truly regret.
Okay.
And if I knew better, I would never have done them.
We got you.
I try to take responsibility, and in some cases, they have really dire effects on myself and people
Yeah.
around me. And so, in the right environment, I would warn people: don't do this. I'm not telling you what to do, but this is what the outcome will be. And so, you're going to have enough to give you
Yeah.
agony. Let me tell you about this. So this is not one of them.
Yeah.
You know.
Um. What's next for Melba? What's next for you?
Oh, well, we're planning some more touring. I'm
Mhm.
invited to go back to the UK
Okay.
and doing some club work,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm working on finishing this album with my
Mm-hmm.
daughter and her uncle,
Your brother-in-law.
my brother-in-law.
This brings a beautiful energy in your family and just a beautiful net back and I know you probably in a retrospect you appreciate that.
Absolutely. Even now I do because our breakup was so traumatic and
Mm-hmm.
difficult and long and damaging
Mm-hmm.
to myself and my daughter especially.
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways, I know it was to him because
Mm-hmm.
if he had known better, there were some things he wouldn't have done because it's a circle. They'll come back and they'll bite you.
It'll bite us, yeah. Yeah.
And he suffered so many different things.
Yeah.
And I'm learning to deal with him because we're in each other's company now.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to remember he's not the same person that he was
Was
before.
before.
He's
Yeah.
had COVID. He's had pneumonia. He's had malaria. He's been out of the industry for maybe about 20 years.
Mm.
He's been incarcerated and he's paid his time.
Yeah.
So, but I wasn't there. I don't know, I don't know him like that.
Yeah.
If I don't,
I don't know you.
no, because I'm getting ready to beat you up for what you did 20 years ago.
Right.
Because in some cases, I'm still recovering from it.
Yeah.
Then I have to remember It's not about me. You got a second chance now. You're going to do the same thing that you did before while y'all in this mess in the first place. God is clearing it away if you will take a moment and try to look at things from whatever new perspective you have now, because remind yourself, you're a new person now,
Yeah.
but so is he.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so
I'm
beautiful.
saying
Mm.
it's not easy.
No, yeah.
It's very difficult. We have these incredible gifts, but now, I remember the scripture that says that
Mm.
when the children of Israel were coming out of Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
they were coming out laden with gold and silver. It's
Mm.
been over. And I have to remember, come on, you can stand up, push your back. Don't carry that much on your back right now. This is gold and silver. This is not a problem.
Yeah.
You have to remind yourself, because sometimes calm down.
Yeah.
This is your reward, baby. You got to deal with it.
Yeah.
This is good. Stop a second. This ain't what it was.
Merge my-
Oh, by the way,
yes.
Jamie and I are all friends.
She loves you to death. When I told her, I said, I'm going to be talking to Melba.
Jamie and I met when she was assisting. Do you know who Donnie Simpson is?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Donnie Simpson over at BET. Yeah.
Yes, that's when Jamie and I first met. So no, that's a long time ago.
A long time ago. Well, you want to say something to Jamie right now? Say something to Jamie.
Jamie!
I love it.
I love you, Jamie. You know I could be a lady if I want to, right?
Thank you so much, baby. It's been so good to talk to you. We adore you. Happy Valentine's Day to you. I'm so glad that things are going great for you. Also, we'll check in with you after the singles dropped, videos dropped, and everything to see how other things are going. I can't wait for you to go on tour. The last time I saw you, you were in DC at Sylvia Tremont Morrison's 50th.
Oh, yes.
That 50th party.
Was there?
Yeah, I was there, and I said hello to you and Ron, but it was so much going on. Matter of fact, you and Ron, and I think there was a couple of girls were with you. It was you.
Somebody helping us move through.
Well, helping move through, okay. And everybody was sitting over to the left. And I came over and spoke to you guys. You guys spoke to me. Too long for you to even remember any of that. But we had a wonderful time that night. Sylvia was brilliant. The show.
Wonderful. There's another one too.
Yeah.
She says she's going to do me in her act where she imitates me.
I can't wait to see that, because when Sylvia does somebody, she takes it on and gives it a whole new meaning. She's phenomenal. She really is. I've been working around her and with her for quite some time here in DC. But I just want to say thank you so much for joining us right here on the Mike Lee Show. And we will see you soon. Happy Valentine's to you, and thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Please have me back.
We will definitely have you back. Everybody, thanks for joining us right here on the Mike Lee Show, sponsored by Jamie Foster Brown. We'll see you. Make sure you go and sign up on YouTube. We have an app page, also the Plushwork TV, also the Jamie Foster Brown Show on YouTube. We got Facebook, we got Instagram. Just go sign up and come and listen to all these great interviews that we have. We'll see you all next time. Thank you. And happy Valentine's, everybody. Bye-bye.